Orale vatos, this is Luke Radowski of We Are Change.org. Lots of crazy news happening right now. A lot to do with race relations, which we're going to avoid for now until all the information and data comes in. But boy, oh boy, are we living in very strange, very important times, by the way. It is critical to be vigilant more than ever, especially with what is happening on this platform that we will be talking about extensively, which looks like YouTube was caught with their pants down, literally doing unspeakable things with the Chinese communist totalitarian state, and guess what? It wasn't done for your benefit. So much to get into, so much disinformation, so much propaganda out there. That's why it's more important than ever to get your information from alternative sources. While, of course, we are still here since YouTube has been undertaking a massive effort in many ways, in ways that we don't even know about, to censor alternative voices. And that's why if you're seeing this video, you are one of the few that are understanding of the situation and are lucky to be hearing our voice. That's why it's more important than ever to support local, small, independent media. If, of course, you have your food and water supply secured, you have some throwaway money, your support is, of course, greatly appreciated. If you're like the vast majority of other people who are struggling, I would also definitely recommend you check out the alternatives that involve not spending a single dime, but could actually also benefit you in this particular section that we have outlined for you here on wearechange.org/donate. Anything helps during these difficult times, and that's why thank you sincerely for allowing us to still be here for you. Also, by the way, lots of conflicting information coming out right now surrounding the official numbers, tests, cases. Some data is suggesting that states that are opening up are actually having a drop in the total number of cases when it comes to this illness. There's some people saying the data is being fudged. As of right now, I don't know who to believe, but we are working on a future video where, of course, we will be addressing all of this very soon, so stay tuned and subscribe to stay tuned for that. Now, today there was a major bombshell development when it comes to YouTube and how they censor information. A development that, of course, you will not be hearing on front page news, but is very significant and important as, of course, YouTube, Google, Alphabet, that multinational corporation, has been caught red-handed and even admitted to deleting comments that insulted the Chinese Communist Party, specifically going after Chinese language phrases which were removed within seconds, a practice that was going on, according to the official story here, for 6 months unnoticed, and according to YouTube, was a quote, glitch. Yep. That's what they're blaming it on. Sorry, we did the bidding and protecting of the Communist Party here. The Chinese totalitarian state that does organ harvesting and sends people to concentration camps. Gee, it was all a glitch. And again, it's important to understand here, this is not the first time that Google, which again is under Alphabet, which again also has control of YouTube, also works with the US Pentagon and Chinese Communist government state on many projects previously, before even on artificial intelligence, that this monopoly technocratic company made previous, quote, glitches, which of course, surprisingly, worked in their favor, or in the favor of the interests that they serve. Previously, before, they've been caught burying rivals like Yelp, TripAdvisor in the search algorithm, creating an unfair market situation that made people depend on Google more than those other competitive products, which Google, again, blamed on some kind of glitch again. And now with this, quote, latest glitch that they even admitted to after speaking with The Verge, they've been caught red-handed serving, of course, and protecting the Chinese Communist state, just like other big multinational corporations in the United States, like the NBA Sports Ball League, which of course was cowering and pandering down to China after one of its employees dared to tweet "Free Hong Kong," something that of course was absolutely ridiculous to see, since the NBA clearly prioritized making money over, of course, free speech, human rights, which of course took a back seat to the NBA and many of its representatives like Steve Kerr and LeBron James that of course always complain about how horrible we have it here in the United States, but won't dare issue any criticism of a totalitarian Big Brother police state society where journalists get disappeared for reporting on facts. So yeah, seeing YouTube in somewhat of a similar action here should be disappointing to a lot of people who are not paying attention, but for the few that are, this should not be a surprise. Now, a lot of this information came out because of The Verge, which I sometimes disagree with, but this time they really did a really good extensive piece here, which deserves to be credited since, of course, under their investigation, they found out that these comments against the Chinese government state were deleted as far back as October 2019, and it is YouTube officially responding to them because of their research in this topic. Does YouTube, Google, Alphabet have something to gain by serving the Chinese Communist state, just like the NBA did for their profits? Well, yes, there's a lot of evidence suggesting that. Now, is this an act of, quote, accidental censorship? Well, to be honest, that is very unlikely, and there's only a small probability that that is the case, which still deserves to be mentioned here. This is not the first time that Google has been accommodating to the Chinese Communist Party. It even created a Chinese government censored search engine, which only after a lot of scrutiny was not actually released. The company's work on artificial intelligence and China is also still very vague, but as a large multinational corporation, I believe it's always best to be skeptical rather than trusting of a corporation that is powerful than most countries out there. When you look at how vast and powerful and how influential Google is, you are truly dealing with something of a monstrosity that has massive resources and more implications on our lives than you could even imagine. And hell, just me making this video, I face the probability, which I've been facing for a very long time now, of having my livelihood destroyed, as it's already been destroyed, by YouTube for reporting on such things. Again, and also reporting on things like the Hong Kong protests, which of course is something that the Chinese Communist state does not want. They don't want to see it. They want to censor this kind of information. But as an independent journalist that's been doing on-the-ground real reporting, this has far more terrifying implications than just a few comments. When of course also you look at the other circumstantial evidence surrounding this situation, where we have praise of the Chinese government by the World Health Organization and by individuals like Bill Gates that are cheering the praises of China with their recent handling of this crisis that the world is in. Meanwhile, other experts would blame them for being fully responsible for it. And when you have the World Health Organization that is heavily financed by China and also by Bill Gates, saying that lying, hiding the data, arresting doctors and journalists for reporting information to the rest of the world is something that should be congratulated, is something that was good, we should all worry, since of course their power and influence extends far more into our lives than the majority of people even understand. There's also some information coming out that Bill Gates is connected to a company that in part has been a large effort in censoring photos and videos from Tiananmen Square. And when you look at Bill Gates's tentacles to gaining wealth for himself while buying up the mainstream media, you clearly see a very dangerous individual with too much power for himself. Again, another thing that I just don't get and understand, if Bill Gates is out there to supposedly help people and to donate all of his money, one, why did his wealth double since announcing that he's going to be doing this Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation? And two, if he really wants to help people, why doesn't he provide them clean water, refrigeration, better sanitary conditions, proper nutrition, you know, all the things to properly prevent disease and illness, instead of pushing for expensive medical procedures for illnesses that some people may not even get? You know, those are the two big questions that you should really be alarmed at. And our friend James Corbett of the Corbett Report just released a 4-part series on Mr. Bill Gates that I definitely recommend you watch. A lot of valuable information about this man that the mainstream media keeps singing the praises of, but should be questioned severely about exactly what he is doing, since, of course, a lot of it is shrouded in mystery, a lot of it is shrouded in a lot of his money, and it has potential to hurt a lot of people instead of helping them in other related hurting people instead of helping them news. YouTube is not only censoring criticism of the Chinese government, but it is also censoring medical doctors that are talking about things like hydrochloroquine, while of course it promotes the mainstream media and someone that is not a medical doctor as the expert, while other doctors just get fully censored on the platform. Again, this is just the beginning here of a larger problem that we are facing, since, of course, information is key. We also just recently saw the announcement by the World Health Organization that they are suspending trials of this medication over, of course, safety concerns. Yeah, safety concerns? And they're actually saying that with a straight face because of a concern for our safety. How stupid do they think we are? The World Health Organization has been absolutely wrong more than they have been right throughout this entire crazy saga that the world has been dealing with. You dare go against them? YouTube censored you, and now they're going after a drug that has been widely used before, that has shown promising results in studies done all around the world. And now here in the United States, a doctor who, quote, debunked this drug also is the man that got close to $250,000 from, of course, the competitor drug that is set to, of course, make a lot of people rich. Meanwhile, many of the tests are being done very late. They're being done incorrectly, inefficiently, and of course are also being politicized, as described by the YouTube channel Peak Prosperity, that went into great detail with this in their video where they talk about how this medicine was politicized. And it is. But his channel, our channel, doctors, and other people even just talking about this, well, we're getting the axe. We're getting censored. We're getting downranked. All in favor for one of the world's richest men who is not a medical doctor, that is set to profit from all of this and has very strange, shadowy connections to eugenicists, child abusers, and government-connected spies like Jeffrey Epstein. So yeah, we're living in a peculiar situation. Don't expect the truth to be on your timeline, your newsfeed, or even on YouTube anymore. This is not a place for it. If you're seeing this video, you're very lucky. Share it with your friends and family members. Our reach is being cut time and time again. We've been doing our best here to show you all the data, all the information before it's totally wiped away from you with important stuff that actually does have an effect on your life. You're seeing a lot of nonsense, a lot of distractions, a lot of things based on race, a lot of things based to divide and conquer humanity in order to defeat us. You see that being propagated and pushed on us with the Karens and the dogs and the calling of the cops. Again, a lot of ridiculous nonsense is happening out there that everyone is focusing on, and in reality, as we're focusing on this literal piece of trash, there's a huge, dangerous fire emerging that needs to be dealt with. That is censorship. That is the destruction of free speech that we have to fight for to keep the existence of. That's my take on it. What do you think? Do you think I was wrong in any way, shape, or form? Let me know in the comment section down below, or let me know on Twitter under Luke We Are Change. I always appreciate your participation, and I always appreciate you guys sharing this video, because without you, I wouldn't be here, and this is why. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.